people tend to break up, and there is a real risk that basically the person that you really want to be with strongly is on the fence of whether they are going to wait for you anymore. Hello, so Scorpios, what's going on for you in your love life for 2019? If you're watching me for the first time, I'm a psychic reader, so I do all my readings, I should say, by interpreting the information I get from spirit, or my spirit guides. That's how I work. So the first thing they're bringing out is a couple of things. They're saying here, because we are in a Mercury retrograde, guys, so you know how dodgy this energy can be. It's saying they're indicating a couple of things. They're indicating that some of you are making a choice between either two people or two situations to do with one person. So, and it feels quite complicated because some of it has to do with money, if I'm being honest with you. So in the scenario where it is two people that you are considering, the best way to probably describe this is that you may be not moving away from somebody in your life because of the financial ties that you have with them, and that being partly the reason why you haven't made a concrete decision about the other person in your life. So that's one aspect, one example. And then the other example where you're not considering two people at all, but you're just considering perhaps geographically having to move, is again the impact of the financial cost associated with this, basically. And I also get that you are owed money to you. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that it's part of a relationship, but that is also a factor. So if I go back to the kind of married example, part of your financial ties with that person is that they would owe you part of the mortgage. They would owe you something. If I use another example where actually, again, there's no other person, it could be, again, that you can't move because you're owed your deposit back, or you're owed you've got to stay in your job because you're contracted to, otherwise they are going to want some annual pay that they've given you back. So there is some stickiness to your decisions, but it feels very, very keen this month that you are thinking about that, or making plans, or finding the get out clause, because it feels to me that where you're focused very much on what is keeping you from moving or keeping you from not making a decision, it's not very helpful to your progress in your love life, because it means that you're denying yourself, but it also means that you're denying the other person in your life by not being able to sort that out. When I do these readings, I like to see if there is a way to solve that, which is what I'm going to do now, because I can see how you're stuck. I can see why you're stuck, and it feels quite complicated. Let's see if there's a way out of this. So for some of you, it will be that, like, so with the married example, or something similar-ish, where you feel stuck because of responsibility, they're saying here it's because it's complicated, but if you just did it, yes, it would be messy, but just like spilling milk, it can get cleared up. It's just that unless you do it, you don't know what needs to be cleared up until you do it. So I think there's an indication of them saying, well, it might be messy. You're not going to be, it's almost like they're saying, you are not going to be homeless, for example. You're not going to be out on your ear. Yes, there are some challenges that come with making a choice that's going to upset somebody, but the mess can be cleared up. The finances can be organised and rearranged and cleared up. The things that are owed to you can be given to you later. They still will be owed to you, but they don't have to come now. Do you see what I mean? And the most important thing is that the person that you're going to will also buffer that for you in terms of being able to support what you're losing temporarily. So they're saying if you can put your energy basically on the solutions, you can find a better result. Now, why is this being brought up in this month? Firstly, because the retrograde energy is going to have that push-pull with you to kind of maybe magnify that kind of struggle that you're having right now in a way that really starts to bug you or upset the other person. But I do feel here, because in retrograde energies with people that we're romantically in with, so whether it's the marriage scenario, whether it's because the person lives far away and you're thinking about moving back to them or with them, they're just basically saying that people tend to break up, and there is a real risk that basically the person that you really want to be with strongly is on the fence of whether they are going to wait for you anymore. So this reading is being highlighted in terms of like spirit almost saying to you, we can see your dilemma, but we want you to see it through different eyes. We want you to see the way forward, which may feel like you're losing or makes things more complicated, but they're almost saying like, what are you afraid of? Because the complications really in the spirit of thing is a minor to what you gain. You gain this love, this relationship, this bond, this thing that you're going to be stepping into. And granted, others might be disappointed. So another person might be disappointed because you're leaving them. Maybe your family and friends might be disappointed because you're moving to another area that is not near them. Yes, but people will cope. Things will work out, and you have to be brave enough to not be carrying everybody else's stuff when you need to just be carrying your own right now. Because what they want you to avoid, Scorpios, is ending up at the end of this month or in December feeling down, low, depressed, heartbroken because you've lost, like maybe you made the decision too slow, you let the barriers get to you, that you then ended up losing somebody or something that you really wanted. So that's the message that seems to be coming across for you in a very kind of whole way when it comes to this month for you guys. So if you've got a specific question for me, you'd like to have a reading with me, the link and information is just down below. I'd love to hear from you. And I'll be back next month with another summary of how to, what to expect when it comes to your love life. Take care.